Hello everybody! So today I'm going to talk to you about the present tense in French. Happy New Year for those I haven't seen yet. Happy 2022. And so let's get to work immediately. So first I'm going to explain to you how you make the present tense in French. And after that we're going to exercise a little bit together. Now, you have to know that in French there is really a big difference between the spoken language and the written language. So if you are only interested in speaking language, then it's much simpler. Now, if you want to write correctly, then it becomes a bit more complicated because in French you write a lot of letters which you do not pronounce all the time. Okay, but let's start. So if you're a real beginner, you should first maybe concentrate on the fact that these are the persons we use in the conjugation of verbs. So it's I, you, he, she, one, we, you guys plural, they, masculine or feminine. Good. And then we have here, what I put here in the frame, these are the normal endings of the present tense. So you can see already that for the plural here, they all have the same endings. I did not rewrite them, but they are the same. They are on for all of those. They're e for all of those. And they are ent for all of those. So really, when you want to write correctly, then you really have to know how the endings are. Okay, let me give an example. If you have a verb ending in er, because those are all verbs. If you have a verb ending in er, like the verb manger, and I really insist on the fact that if you have a vowel in French, like an A or another vowel, and it's followed by an N, you really have to pronounce it in a very nasal way. So it's manger. It's not manger. You don't say the N, okay? Manger. But I will make another video about pronunciation. Well, so if you have the verb manger, you will see that if you say I eat, je mange, you will end it in an I, tu manges, is, il mange, I, nous mangeons, vous mangez, il mange. Watch out, the ENT you do not pronounce in French, okay? This is for the verbs ending in ER. So I call them the EESE verbs, because they have always EESE, right? Okay. Then you also have a group of verbs ending in SST, okay? And they are mainly the verbs ending in IR. You see them here, IR. Now, what is the difficulty with verbs ending in IR in French is that you have two groups. You have the verbs who keep this I, but in French it's not pronounced as an I, it's pronounced as E. And then you have the group of verbs who do not keep this I. But let me give you an example so that you understand. If we have the verb finir, which means to end, to finish, okay, and you conjugate it here, it will be je finis, tu finis, il finit, nous finissons, vous finissez, ils finissent. That means that here, for those three, the first singular ones, you keep the E at the end. You will hear fini, not the R, but you hear fini. Then for the plurals, you have this extra S. Finissons, finissez, finissent. Okay, so that's hard. That's one thing. But then you have another group, also ending in IR, like partir. And they do not keep the E sound when you conjugate them. So the whole conjugation here of the verb partir will be je pars, tu pars, il part, nous partons, vous partez, ils partent. Okay, so the T here in the plural, you will keep the T. Not in the je, tu, il, because je pars will just be P-A-R-S. Okay? So you see, this is really the difficulty with the IR verbs. Okay? Good. Then we have another group, and I call them the SS nothing group. Okay, and in fact, these three groups are the most important. This group here, I will explain later, but there are not many verbs belonging to this group. So really concentrate on those three groups. So I call them the EESE group, the SST group, and the SS nothing group. Okay, so what is this SS nothing group? It's mainly verbs ending in ER, like for example, prendre, to take, prendre. What happens when you conjugate them? The RE is going away and it will have an S at the, here after the D. So it will be, you will write like prends, but you pronounce it like prend. Je prends, tu prends, il prend. And the il prend, this form, the third person singular, will so just have PREND, right? Not the RE at the end. So that's why we call them the SS nothing group, because you're not really adding anything after the D. Okay, and then, watch out, the D is not used for the plural. It's nous prenons, vous prenez, ils prennent. You say the N, but not the ENT. Okay? Good. So those three groups are the most important. If you want to practice to write them all correctly, I will later in this video refer to a little book, a book that's very useful, because then you have to train really all the time to write and write and write to get them exactly right, because writing in French, it's not so easy. You know, once you have a D, then you don't have a D. Okay, so we here in this video now we concentrate on how you pronounce them. Okay, so I'll take one more example of each group so that you really know how it works. So let's now take the verb parler. That will be je parle, tu parles, il parle, nous parlons, vous parlez, il parle. Okay, so this is in fact the easiest group. Now I take one verb that goes like finir, so keeping the E, and that's why you see I put F or P behind it. You see it? F means it goes like finir. P means it goes like partir, right? So let me now take the verb, a verb going like finir, and I take choisir. It means to choose, choisir. So that becomes je choisis, tu choisis, il choisit, nous choisissons, vous choisissez, ils choisissent. You see again this extra S. Okay, and then I take an example like partir. Let me take dormir. It means to sleep. Maybe you know the word dormitory. Dormir, to sleep. So when we conjugate dormir, this ending will totally go away. So it will become je dors, tu dors, il dort. Nous dormons, vous dormez, ils dorment. So the M comes back again. This M comes back again in the plural. Okay? And then I take one example of this group. Let's take comprendre, to understand, to comprehend, comprendre. So it will be je comprends, tu comprends, il comprend. Nous comprenons, vous comprenez, ils comprennent. Again, this N you pronounce, but not the ENT. Okay, so if you get those three groups right, then you are already a long way further. But then we have this group ending in OIR, and they're really special because if now we take the verb vouloir, which is to want, it will become je veux, tu veux, il veut. And it's really written, I will see if I can add it to the screen here. You see, it goes like this, veut. In the plural, they are quite normal because then it becomes nous voulons, vous voulez, but then again, ils veulent for the last one. So you have again this EU coming back. Okay? So if I do the whole conjugation of vouloir, it's je veux, tu veux, il veut. Nous voulons, vous voulez, ils veulent. Okay? And then I have the verb pouvoir, to be able to. pouvoir, or even to may, yes. So, je peux, tu peux, il peut. Nous pouvons, vous pouvez, ils peuvent. Okay? So, now we have the 4 groups, right? Okay. Do I have to say anything else? Let me see, because we will practice at the end of this video. Okay, and then you have quite some exceptions. You see those verbs here. They're all very special. And of course, the verb être and avoir, to be and to have, they are exceptions in all languages, okay? So they're really, really very, very special. You have to look them up to be able to make them. They're almost different in every person. So it's je suis, tu es, il est, and so on and so on. Okay, but at the end, I will practice with you. If you want to look everything up and you want to practice it, to have them right, to have them written correctly, I can recommend this little book. I put a picture here. It's a small book. It's not very big. And it's all the verbs conjugated in French. It's not very expensive. Costs maybe, it's under 10 euros. So, well, this is a very good book to look up if you have the right, spelling. What did I do here? Well, here for every group we discussed here, you see, we discussed the groups here. I put an example here, you see? So I put here the verb parler. Je parle, tu parles, il parle. Nous parlons, vous parlez, il parle. I have finir, you see it here. We have partir. We have répondre. And we have vouloir. So one example of every group. I have to say a few things more and then we will practice together. So, if you have a verb ending in aller, you have appeler, épeler, you have quite some verbs ending in aller. Then you have to double the L when the accent is before. You see, this is appelle. So you put the accent before the L, then you have to double it. J'appelle, tu appelles, il appelle. And now we call, nous appelons. The accent is after. You see, you put a stress after the L. Nous appelons. Then you have just one L. Vous appelez, one L. Ils appellent. The stress is again just before the L, so I have to double it. Okay, so that's one thing. Then you have this accent in French. So if you have an accent, you see, from the bottom going up, then you pronounce it like E. If it's going down like here, you call it E. You pronounce it E. Okay? So the verb espérer, it's an E, means to hope. Well, the sound changes when you conjugate it. So I hope is j'espère. And then you have an E, j'espère. Tu espères. Il espère. But then, nous espérons. It's more pronounced like E. Vous espérez. Et ils espèrent. You see, so the accent changes. This is E, this is E. Good. Then we have, like the verb manger. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with je mange, tu manges, il mange. But then, there is a rule that says if you have this G, and it's followed by the letters A, O, U, you have to pronounce it like G. So if I didn't have this little E here, I take it away just for a second. Then I should pronounce mangon. Because that's a rule that says you have this letter followed by A-O-U, you pronounce it like G. Mangon. Which is not right because it's the verb manger. So to keep it mangeons, we put this extra E. And then we can pronounce it like mangeons. Here we don't have the problem because it's an E. after the G, so it's manger, et il mange. So it's only with the letters O, A, O, U. Okay? Good. We have the same rule when we have a C in French, like the verb commencer, to start. In the beginning here, in the singular, we don't have any problem. Je commence, tu commences, il commence. But then, here, if I didn't put this little tail on the C, and in French it's called CD, if I didn't put it there, I should pronounce comment qu'on. Why? Because there is a rule that says when you have a C in front of A, O, U, you have to pronounce it like a K. So if I write it just with a normal C, I should pronounce comment qu'on. I don't want that, so I put this little tail, and in French it's called CD, this little thing, une CD, okay? I don't have the problem here because the C is followed by an E, commencer, et il commence. Okay, I think these are the main rules. If you have any questions, you can always ask your question just underneath the video in the comments, or you can send me a mail on my address, maybe Miss A can help you at gmail.com. Now let's practice, and today, what are we going to practice? We are going to practice the je, so we will do a lot of verbs with I, je, I do a lot of things. And then we will also practice nous, and that will be it for today. So let's first go back to all our verbs and try to say I something. I eat, je mange. I get up, je me lève. You see, the se becomes me because I get myself up. Okay? Je me lève. I play, je joue. I start, je commence. I talk, je parle. I call, j'appelle. And you see, I pronounce it j'appelle. Why? Because, I won't have two vowels, an E and an A together. So I take away the E and I put a little accent and I pronounce j'appelle. Okay, j'appelle. I live, j'habite. And since the H in French doesn't count, well, it's again the J apostrophe habite, j'habite. I prefer, je préfère. I have lunch, je déjeune. I hate, je déteste. I love, I adore, j'adore. I phone, je téléphone. I visit, je visite. I go back, je retourne. I love, j'aime. Remember, we take away the E and we put a little accent, j'aime. I have dinner, je dîne. I take a picture, je photographie. I ask, je demande. I study, j'étudie. I'm called, so my name is I'm called, je m'appelle. You see, the se becomes M, je m'appelle. I cross, je traverse. I carry, je porte. I'm arriving, j'arrive. I think, je pense. I decide, je décide. I refuse, je refuse. I win, je gagne. I work, je travaille. I discuss, je discute. I watch, I look, je regarde. I repair, je répare. I prepare, je prépare. Okay, so let's now go to the IR verbs. I finish, je finis. I go away, je pars. I obey, j'obéis. I sleep, je dors. I fill or I fill out, je remplis. I choose, je choisis. I think or I reflect, je réfléchis. I applaud, j'applaudis. I gain weight, je grossis. The plane, how could you say that? Lands, it's landing, or I'm landing, j'atterris. I'm getting bigger, je grandis. I make it larger, j'agrandis. I punish, je punis. I warn, j'avertis. I'm lying, je mens. I'm feeling, je sens. I'm serving, je sers. I'm going out, je sors. I must, je dois. And you can see that here it's an OI verb, but it's conjugated like the other one, so that's why I put it in this column, and I did not put it in the OIR column, okay? So, je dois, I must. I know, je sais. I drink, je bois. I write, j'écris. I read, je lis. I come, je viens. I hold, je tiens. I say, je dis. I do, je fais. Okay, let's go to the RE column. I take, je prends. I go down, je descends. I must, je dois. I know, je sais. I learn, j'apprends. I understand, je comprends. I answer, je réponds. I wait, j'attends. I sell, je vends. I go down, je descends. And then we have those two special ones. I can or I may, je peux. I want, je veux. And then my special verbs, I am, je suis. I have, j'ai. I do, je fais. I say, je dis. I come, je viens. We had it already. I hold, je tiens. I know, je sais. I must, je dois. I drink, je bois. They're not necessarily exceptions in the je form. Maybe that's later. Then I have here the examples. And those I did already. So now we're going to do the nous form. And then that's it for today. So let's do we. Nous is we. We eat. Nous mangeons. We are getting up. Nous nous levons. You see, the ce becomes nous. We get ourselves up. Nous nous levons. We play. Nous jouons. We start. Nous commençons. We talk. Nous parlons. We call. Nous appelons. We live, nous habitons. We prefer, nous préférons. We have lunch, nous déjeunons. We hate, nous détestons. We love, nous adorons. You see, nous adorons. See, when I put the nous, you have to link the S to the A. Nous adorons, right? Every time you have a vowel. We call, nous téléphonons. We visit, nous visitons. We go back, nous retournons. We like, we love, nous aimons. So the S of the nous linked to aimons, nous aimons. We have dinner, nous dînons. We take a picture, nous photographions. We ask, nous demandons. We study, nous étudions. We are called, nous nous appelons. Oops, sorry. We cross, nous traversons. We carry, nous portons. We arrive, nous arrivons. We think, nous pensons. We decide, nous décidons. We refuse, nous refusons. We win or earn, nous gagnons. We work, nous travaillons. We discuss, nous discutons. We watch or we look, nous regardons. We repair, nous réparons. We prepare, nous préparons. And then we have this column. We finish, nous finissons. Remember the two S's, nous finissons. We are leaving, nous partons. We obey, nous obéissons. We sleep, nous dormons. We fill out, nous remplissons. We choose, nous choisissons. We reflect, nous réfléchissons. We applaud, nous applaudissons. We are gaining weight, nous grossissons. We are landing, nous atterrissons. We are making it larger, nous... I'm sorry. We are growing, nous grandissons. We are making it larger, nous agrandissons. We punish, nous punissons. We warn, nous avertissons. We lie, nous mentissons. Pardon, nous mentons. This is mentir, nous mentons. We feel, nous sentons. We serve, nous servons. We go out, nous sortons. We must, we have to, nous devons. We know, nous savons. We drink, watch out, nous buvons. We write, nous écrivons. An extra V coming in. We read, nous lisons. We come, nous venons. We hold, nous tenons. We say, nous disons. We do, nous faisons. And then we have this smaller column. So watch out with those verbs. We take, nous prenons. We go down, nous descendons. We have to, we had it already in the other column. Nous devons. We know, nous savons. We learn, nous apprenons. See, the D is going away. We understand, nous comprenons. We answer, nous répondons. We wait, nous attendons. We sell, nous vendons. We go down, nous descendons. So you see, sometimes the D, we keep it, and sometimes not. Like with prendre, apprendre, we don't keep the D. So really practice those. And then here, to be able to, so nous pouvons, and we want, nous voulons. And then I do those exceptional verbs here. So we are, nous sommes. We have, nous avons. We do, nous faisons. We say, nous disons. We come, nous venons. We hold, nous tenons. We know, nous savons. We must, nous devons. We drink, nous buvons. So some verbs I repeated. I put it in 2 columns. No worries, just try to practice it, and I can assure you, if you know the present tense in French very well, then the hardest part is done. All the rest is really, really easier. Good luck. Ask me questions if ever you have any. Bye.